Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to this Sunday Feast lecture. Now we will do a little kirtan, and then we will then dwell into the subject matter today. Sumedha. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranganam Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranganam Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjanam Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda, Radhe. Jaya Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan ki Jai, Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar Bhagavan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, everybody. So welcome to this online Sunday Feast lecture. And I wish you all a happy Kartik. So today I'm going to speak on preparing our consciousness for the month of Kartik. And the same consciousness can be applied throughout, not just for the Kartik. So we will see from the scriptures how a devotee reacts, responds, and how consciousness, what kind of consciousness will a devotee have. So we will see from the scriptures, and I will take some examples from the pastime of Damodar Leela and see if we can learn anything from that pastime. And it will be an interactive class, and I will be requesting devotees to read out some paragraphs or translations. So please be kind and help me. So it will be an interactive class. So I request devotees to help me out in this mission. So let's bring up something. So let me thank Radhavnod Prabhu and his family for doing, for giving us this wonderful darshan of Yashoda Damodar, beautifully decorated, and we are able to take darshan because of them. Thank you, Prabhu. So let's see. Let me share a screen. So this is a picture of Prabhupada offering lamp or harti to Radha Krishna. So we are here by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We are extremely grateful to Prabhupada for all his efforts. Prabhupada has undertaken so much struggle in his life. so that so that he can spread the mission of Krishna consciousness, and his aim is to bring as many conditioned soul as possible to the lotus feet of Krishna. If you look at our lives, we can see, I can look at my own life. What was my situation before I came to Krishna consciousness, and I can see the difference. And we can all, if we just spend just 1 minute and introspect ourselves, where were we before? How were we before behaving? What kind of habits we had? What kind of consciousness we had before coming to Krishna consciousness? What kind of food we were eating? What kind of people we were associating with? Now, how we are doing before and after. We can introspect ourselves and see where we are and what kind of differences, change happened in us. It is. Hare Krishna. Someone need to be muted. Okay, let me see who is that. Yeah, it's all done. So we are very grateful to Prabhupada. We should never forget that. We are able to get together and discuss today is because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We are indebted to all our Vaishnava Acharyas, especially to Srila Prabhupada. We owe a lot. We will never be able to repay the debt, put it that way. We will never be able to repay the debt, but there is something we can do that can be discussed at the end. We can do something, and that is simply follow his instructions and serve in his mission. If we hear Srila Prabhupada lectures, if we read his books, we come to know what Srila Prabhupada wants from us, in what way we can please him. And as an aspiring devotee, it is quite important for us to look at that. So we are eternally grateful to his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada, because of whom we are here. So with that little introduction, so let me see if I can take another piece from here. So, so why it is important to hear Krishna Katha? We all know, we heard it many times, but there is a little message that I've highlighted from the purport of this particular verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 177. There's a beautiful meaning. I'll just recite the verse. This will just give us the importance of actually hearing this katha. So what is the importance of hearing katha, Krishna katha? Let me recite the verse. Yasyam vaishruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsaha shokamoha bhayapaha. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature. This Vedic literature means Srimad Bhagavatam. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. So when we hear this Krishna Katha, it awakens the love of devotional service unto Lord Krishna. And then what happens when the love of devotional service awakens in us? There is a byproduct. And the byproducts are, it will extinguish the lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. Shoka, moha, bhaya, paha. Lamentation is gone, illusion is gone, fearfulness is gone as a byproduct of the devotional service. And can someone read the highlighted portion of the purport here, please?
Please share the screen, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please. Can you see the highlighted one in blue?
No, Prabhuji.
Oh, you can't see the highlighted actual. Okay. What do you see there? Sorry.
The picture of Prabhupada.
Okay, you're still seeing the picture of Prabhupada. That's no problem, actually. So let me stop and then thank you. Now you should be able to see. Okay.
Mataji, go ahead and read it.
Yes, please read someone.
Shall I read then? Is it me you said?
Yeah.
Anyone, please.
Thank you, Thank you, Mataji. There is no difference between the Lord and the subject matter heard about him. The Lord is absolute in all respects, and thus there is no difference between him and the subject matter heard about him. Therefore, hearing about him means immediate contact with him by the process of vibration of the transcendental sound.
Thank you. Just let me sort out something here. I have a little problem. Hare Krishna, I'm back now. So as you can see, there is no difference between the Lord and the subject matter heard about him. If you are hearing about him means the Krishna is present before us. Lord is absolute in all respects, and thus there is no difference between him and the subject matter heard about him. And therefore, hearing about him means immediate contact with him by the process of vibration of the transcendental sound. So if we hear means we are in contact with Krishna. And that's why when we hear about Krishna, we should give that solid 1 hour. Throughout the day, we are always disturbed. We do multitasking. We are very good at multitasking. But I think when we try to hear Krishna Katha, let's give that solid 1 hour. Let's fully focus, because anyway, throughout the day, we have got so many other activities. We get carried away. We are busy normally. So that's why when we hear, I think it's better to give full attention to the subject matter. And then Prabhupada nicely points out that if we hear sincerely that we are in touch with Krishna, we are in contact with Krishna. So let's hear about Krishna in a proper mood, giving full attention, because Krishna is coming to you, and if we neglect Krishna, if Krishna comes to you, would you neglect? Would you do some other job? No, you would receive fully, with wholeheartedly. Yes, and similarly, when Krishna Katha is spoken, we should have the same mood. Because Krishna is coming. Should I be neglectful for Krishna? No. That is the consciousness that we should develop. Let's give that 1 hour when we hearing about Krishna, because Krishna Katha and Krishna are non-different. That's a one point that we should take that message and develop that consciousness. If you want to put one line, if you want to take from so far, first point, because of Prabhupada mercy, we are here. Let's try and please him. Let's serve him. Number one. Number two, Krishna Katha and Krishna are non-different. When Krishna Katha is going, let's give full attention to Krishna Katha. And let's move on, having given that background information. Let's move on. What kind of prayer we can offer in the month of Kartik? Not only in the month of Kartik, but throughout the year, every single day. As Prabhupada said, we just don't do this devotional service one-off. It's not a one-day business. Prabhupada repeatedly quotes Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Means we do devotional service every day. We read Bhagavatam every day. We hear about Krishna every day. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. But in the month of Kartik, however, devotees take advantage. And they try to do even more. Some increases their rounds, some increases increase their reading time. Some other do other devotional services, helping other devotees, also service. But devotees do take advantage of it. So let's see what kind of prayer. I picked one prayer from the pastime of Mother Yashoda, binding Krishna and Krishna delivering these two people, Nalkruvera and Manigriva. And so let me just share the screen and recite that wonderful prayer, and we can all offer that prayer to Krishna every day. Share screen. Okay. So just share the screen. Are you able to see the verse?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:38. This is a prayer offered by Nalkuvera and Manigriva after they were delivered by Krishna. So let's read that. I'll recite it. Vani gunanukatane shravanau kathayam astau cha karmasu manastava padayornaha smrutyam shirastava nivasa jagat praname drishtihi satam darishanestu bhavattanunam Drishtihi satam darishanestu bhavattanunam. So after they were delivered, kindly delivered by Krishna, they took this form. We know that the twin Yamala Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. So we know the story. Let me share some pictures also, if possible. So yeah, we know this, like they were drunk and they were misbehaving, and by the mercy of Narada Muni, they were cursed to be twin trees, and Krishna mercifully delivered these two sons of Kuvera. And after they were delivered by Krishna, and they offered prayers. And sometimes this punishment is good for a devotee, because we can understand a little punishment, little misery is good. We come to our senses and realize the importance, realize the value of Krishna consciousness, realize the value of human life. So just imagine, like, when you had, I remember when I had some disease, when I was suffering from a disease, my consciousness was much, much better. Much better. I came to fully my senses. And, these wonderful devotees. So they offered these prayers to Krishna after they were delivered. I need a volunteer to read the translation. So sorry. Still, there is a little problem. Yeah. Okay. Share the screen. Right. So please, can somebody read the translation?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Henceforward,
Yes, please.
may all our words describe your pastimes. May our ears engage in oral reception of your glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you. And may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms. And may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are non-different from you. Oh, beautiful.
What a beautiful prayer it is. When we read scriptures, we can take so many jewels. So many jewels. And this is the one of the jewels that I've taken long time ago. Let's see, I don't know if we can, but we can offer this prayer to Krishna. Oh Krishna, they're offering Vani Gunanu Katane. Let our words describe your pastimes. It's a positive instruction. There are do's and there are don'ts in the devotional service. It is said that we should focus on the do's rather than don'ts. When we do the do's, then the don'ts will disappear automatically. So let's use these words, this tongue, these words describe the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees, activities of Krishna and his devotees. What is the opposite of it? Do not criticize the devotees. Yeah, I'm not telling that. Let's focus on the positive. Always try to use the tongue and words in describing. They're asking this prayer. They're begging Krishna. Vani gunanu katane. Oh Krishna, let our words always describe your pastimes. Krishna, nothing but Krishna also includes his devotees. Krishna is never be independent on his own. Krishna always, whenever you talk about Krishna, Krishna is included. Devotees are included. That's why you see this picture behind me. There's a parrot. Not only Krishna. So Krishna is always with his devotees. Sometimes peacocks, sometimes gopas, gopis, and other devotees. So let our words always engage in describing your pastimes. Vani gunanu katane, shravanau kathayam. Let our hear about your glories. Hastaucha karmasu manastava pada yornaha. And they're asking, let our hands and what else? Legs, other senses engage in actions pleasing to you. And let our mind always think of you, Krishna. Think of your lotus feet. And they further say, Shiras tava nivasa jagat praname. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms. See their consciousness. We say that at least you respect devotees. You behave nicely with the devotees. But here they are going further. Not only the living entities, they want to offer respects to everything within this universe, because they know that they are seeing every particle of this universe in connection to Krishna, in relation to Krishna. That's what they're asking. Let us bow down. May our heads offer obeisances to everything. And the last line is really my favorite. Drishti satam darshanestu bhavat tanunam. Drishti satam darshanestu bhavat tanunam. They said, tongue, let me use in describing your pastimes, talking about you, talking about your devotees. And then ears, hear about your katha. And hands, legs, and other senses serving you, doing actions which are pleasing to you. And head, bow down to everything in this material world, because everything is, you are there in every particle of this universe. And then they came to eyes, and they said, they did not ask. They didn't say that, let my eyes see your form. What did they say? Satam darshanestu, let our eyes seize the form of your devotees. O Krishna, let our eyes see the form of your devotees. Because, the reason why? Bhavat tanunam, they are non-different from you. Prabhupada actually translated like that. If you read the Sanskrit word for word, it says, they are your expansions. Bhavat tanunam, they are your body. Let our eyes see the form of Vaishnavas, because they are non-different from you. How should we interact with the devotees? How should we behave with the devotees? We should never take this devotee association so cheaply. When we read the scriptures, we come to know how should we behave. What is our attitude towards a devotee? Let's develop that consciousness in the month of Kartik, not only in the month of Kartik, for the rest of the year, forever. Forever, we should develop that consciousness. Read scriptures. When we read scriptures, we come to know. And this is a service. Reading scriptures is a service to Srila Prabhupada. So that should be our prayer for Kartik month. So Krishna's devotees are very dear to him. And Krishna is never be alone on his own without his devotees. And we also see the same thing from the pastime of Mother Yashoda. And this particular pastime depicts how Krishna becomes subservient to the love of his devotees. He becomes servant of his servants. So we can see that from the pastime of Mother Yashoda. Let's read a few verses and understand the glory of Yashoda if I remember well, there is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, once one devotee came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, who is your worshipable deity? And the devotee replied, I worship Nanda Maharaj. I don't worship Krishna. Because Nanda Maharaj is extremely dear to Krishna. He is my worshipable deity. So that is the mood of a devotee. And Krishna also says that those who are my devotees are not my devotees, but those who are my devotees of, those who are devotees of my devotees are actually my devotees. You love me, if you love me, love my dog. So let's read a few translations to understand the glory of Yashoda Maya. But before that, let's I'll show you a couple of pictures. I'm not going to go in depth to this pastime of Mother Yashoda binding Krishna to the wooden grinding mortar. That pastime happened on the Diwali, on the day of Diwali. Maybe we can, take the opportunity to discuss the entire pastime probably on that day. But today I'll just show some pictures, and we will try and understand what Shukadeva Goswami said about Mother Yashoda. Let me share my screen. So we talked about Prabhupada. So this is the Damodar Leela. So we all know that Krishna, once Mother Yashoda was churning the yogurt into butter. So Krishna came from behind and he was hungry. So he held Mother Yashoda's sari. And Mother Yashoda then left, and she actually, fed Krishna. She was giving breast milk, feeding Krishna, and somehow or other by transcendental mercy. So this the milk on the oven was overflowing, and Mother Yashoda had to put Krishna aside, who was not completely satisfied by drinking the breast milk. Just like if someone gives us a 10-course prasadam plate, gulab jam, raddu, rasgulla, sandesh, rasmalai, pakoda, samosa, so many things, puri, alwa, everything is there, and you've eaten only one puri, and devotee comes, takes your plates away. How do you feel? So Krishna was a little upset, and he was angry because Mother Yashoda had put him aside and went to the kitchen to sort out this issue there. And so Krishna took this opportunity. We all know that he broke the part actually that Mother Yashoda was using to churn the yogurt into butter, and then he started eating the butter, freshly made butter. Mother Yashoda came out and she saw what's going on, but Krishna also not only eating but feeding the monkeys as well. So these, to this date, we see so many monkeys in Vrindavan, and Mother Yashoda saw, and he actually there was a wooden grinding mortar. He stood on top of it, and then there was butter hanging from the ceiling. So he took some butter, he ate, and he fed to the monkeys as well. And so then Yashoda Maya, she wanted to teach him a lesson. And then she took a stick and chased Krishna. It was difficult to catch hold of Krishna. So we know that Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayo Ratapi Manaso Munipungavanam Soapi Asti Yat Prapada Chimni Avichintya Tattve Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The great yogis, the great peoples, if they travel at the speed of mind and at the speed of light, Vayu, So wind, at the speed of wind, at the speed of mind, they may be able to touch the toenail of Krishna. Maybe if they travel at that speed, they are not able to catch hold of Krishna. He's not caught by other people. So, but Mother Yashoda was chasing Krishna, and he was caught. He was caught, and then we know that she tried to bind him to this wooden grinding mortar. Other gopis were around. She had a lot of difficulty in binding him. She tried our level best. There is a competition going on between the devotees and the Lord. When there is a competition between the Lord and his devotees, sometimes Krishna wants to be conquered by his devotees. That's what happened here. So Krishna said that, Mother Yashoda, you win. You become victorious because you are my devotee. So these are some of the pictures I wanted to share. And let's read the glory, the greatness of Mother Yashoda according to Shukdev Goswami. So I would like to share the screen. And so this is the ninth chapter. Right. Can someone read verse 18, please? So how to pick then to see who is there?
Shall I read?
Verse 18. Hare Krishna, who is there? Govinda Prabhu, would you like to read the verse 18?
Yeah. Right. Because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor, her whole body became covered with perspiration, and the flowers and combs were falling from her hair. When child Krishna saw his mother thus fatigued, he became merciful to her and agreed to bound.
Can you also read, please read the purport, very small purport.
Purport. When Mother Yashoda and other ladies finally saw that Krishna, although decorated with many bangles and other jeweled ornaments, could not be bound with all the ropes available in the house, they decided that Krishna was so fortunate that he could not be bound by any material condition. Thus, they gave up the idea of binding him. But in competition between Krishna and his devotee, Krishna sometimes agreed to be defeated. Thus, Krishna's internal energy, Yogamaya, was brought to work, and Krishna agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. I'll ask another devotee to read text 19. Maybe someone else. Let's see who is there. James Prabhu, are you able to read? Okay. Carry on, Prabhu. Govinda Prabhu, carry on. 19.
19. O Maharaj Parikshit, this entire universe, with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Indra, is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. He comes under control of his devotees. This was now exhibited by Lord Krishna in this pastime.
See, here Shukdev Goswami is telling that how great the Lord is. Even the great personalities, demigods, and everyone like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra is under the control of the Supreme Lord. And yet the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute, that he comes under the control of his devotees. The word here, Sanskrit word, is Bhrutya, Bhrutyavashyata. Bhrutyavashyata. Bhrutya means servant. Avashyata means he comes under control of his servant. That is his quality. And Prabhupada writes here in the translation, see if you see this, Bhrutyavashyata is transcendental quality of becoming subordinate to his servitor or devotee. So Krishna, although is the supreme controller, but he has this transcendental quality of becoming or coming under control of his devotee. That is because of the devotee's love. Prabhupada writes in this purport that so Arjuna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Stena yor ubhayor madhye ratam stapaya me achyuta. Oh Krishna, just take me to the midst of the armies. I wanted to see who assembled in this battlefield, as if Krishna is his own servant. Just take me there. Stena yor ubhayor madhye. Prabhupada writes wonderfully. So, but Krishna, he becomes subservient to his own devotees. That is his love. So here also in the case of Yashoda, that principle was demonstrated. Next, Prabhu, verse 20. Oh, you're on mute, Govinda Prabhu.
And neither Lord Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, nor even the demigod of fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The deliverer from this material world, such mercy is received by Mother Yashoda.
So here Mother Yashoda's position was clearly mentioned. Neither Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, nor even goddess of Lakshmi. Goddess of Lakshmi is used better off. These are the words of Shukadeva Goswami. They have not obtained the mercy that is obtained by Mother Yashoda. And finally, text 21.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotee engaged in spontaneous loving service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculator, to those striving for self-realization by self-authorities and penance, or to those who consider the body the same as the self.
So yes, thank you, Prabhu. Just 1 second. Yeah. So here you can see this is a very famous verse. Prabhupada often quoted that the Supreme Lord is addressed here as son of Mother Yashoda. Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavatam on every page. When Krishna is addressed in connection with his devotees, he becomes so pleased. When you say Yashoda Nandana, he becomes very happy. Nandanandana. And Vasudevaya, son of Vasudeva, Devaki Nandan, son of Devaki, and Partha Sarati, charioteer of Arjuna, Partha Saki, friend of Arjuna, Vijaya Saki, friend of Arjuna. Whenever we connect Krishna to his devotees, he becomes extremely happy. So here Shukadeva Goswami is saying that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is easily accessible to those devotees who engaged in the spontaneous loving service, but not to other people like some yogis and jnanis. They sit and meditate, they undergo severe austerities and so many other things, but is not easily accessible to them. So this is a position of a pure devotee. We are fortunately in this line. We are following this sampradaya. by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And just imagine the position of Prabhupada as well. Yeah. Just imagine, based on these few verses, you can also imagine the position of Prabhupada. How much Krishna must have pleased with Prabhupada. So let us all become servant of Prabhupada. Let us all read his books. Let us hear him. Let us practice what he had said. Let us come together to please him. To please him. So Prabhupada also says that this whole class is about devotees. How to, the position of devotees. If you read, if so far, if you have heard clearly, and then the whole theme of this class is how dear the devotees are to Krishna. So our business is to become servant of these great devotees. And let's read a couple of verses from the pastime of Nalkuver and Manigriva as well. And we can take some more lessons from there and develop consciousness. Okay, so I will pick up another devotee. I don't want to just ask only Prabhuji. So Ranlal Prabhu, if you can read text 25, that would be great. Are you able to read by any chance?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, thank you. Text 25.
Although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them, Dwasi Narad is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance.
Thank you, Prabhu. So we may read the purport as well. Let's see if we have time. Yes, would you like to read the purport as well, Prabhu, for this one?
Please, Prabhuji. It's my pleasure. Nakulavara and Manigriva actually had nothing to do with devotional service or seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. But this is not an ordinary opportunity. It is not that because one is very rich or learned or was born in an aristocratic family, one will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. This is impossible. But in this case, because Narad Muni desired that Kulavara and Manigriva see Vasudeva face to face, the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted to fulfill the words of his very dear devotee, Narad Muni. If one seeks the favor of a devotee, instead of directly asking favors from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is very easily successful. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has therefore recommended Vaishnav Thakur Tomaro Kukura Buliya Janan A Mori Krishna Si Tamara Krishna Liti Para. One should desire to become like a dog, strictly following a devotee. Krishna is in the hands of a devotee. Adulabham Atma Bhakto. Thus, without the favor of a devotee, one cannot directly approach Krishna. What to speak of engaging in his service? Narottam Das Thakur therefore sings, Chadiya Vaishna Seva Nistara Payicha Kabir. Unless one becomes a servant of a pure devotee, one cannot be delivered from the material condition of life. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava society, following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, our first business is to seek shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, Ado Guru Asriya.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for that.
Thank you very much. So you can see that here in the translation, Krishna actually says that I've got nothing to do these two boys. They are in the form of these twin trees. I've got actually nothing to do. They are the sons of rich Kuvera. But however, my dear devotee Narada Muni said that I would come before them face to face. When he cursed them, I must fulfill his words. So Krishna likes his devotees. Krishna fulfills the words of his devotees. And that's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, Kaunteya pratijanahi name bhaktya pranashyati. O Arjun, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Because Krishna may break his own vow sometimes. Krishna may break his own words sometimes. But Krishna never breaks the words of his devotees. So this purport is highlighting nicely that how one should become a servant of a devotee. So we all can, we have a wonderful opportunity. Srila Prabhupada is in front of us, and we can serve Prabhupada. And one more point before I close this session that is also very important. Let's read text 37 here. 37. Okay. Madhav Kumar Prabhu, can you read 37? Haribol, Madhav Kumar Prabhu? Okay, if not Madhav Kumar Prabhu, maybe some other. Radha Vinod Prabhu, are you able to read? Can't hear you, Prabhu.
Now, can you hear me?
Your voice is very low.
You want me to read text 36?
But it's very low. Voice is low. We
Can
can't
you hear now?
Yeah. Radha Vinod Prabhu, yes, please.
37, right?
Yes, please.
O Supreme Form, we are always servants of your servants. 1 minute, Prabhu, let me. O Supreme Form, we are always servants of your servants, especially of Narada Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face.
So here, these two devotees, they did not forget the favor by the favor of Narada Muni. So that's why they are saying that we are always servants of your servants. And our first business is to serve Narada Muni. So we are also, we came to Krishna consciousness because of Srila Prabhupada. Because of Prabhupada, we are here. Whatever engagement we are in now, because of Prabhupada and his devotees. So based on that instruction, our business is to serve Prabhupada. Without Prabhupada, we couldn't have come to Krishna consciousness. So let us serve Srila Prabhupada, and that too in the cooperative mood, and please Srila Prabhupada. And that will be very much pleasing to Krishna. So in summary, in the beginning we discussed how because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are able to celebrate these festivals and read Bhagavatam and have this wonderful association. It is by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada we had it. And then I mentioned from the first canto, we talked about how hearing about Krishna and Krishna, there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's message. That means when we hear Krishna, Krishna is coming to our home, and we should never be neglectful to this hearing. We should be attentive. We should give that solid 1 hour or 1.5 hours, whatever the time that we come together. Let's give that time, Because when the Krishna Katha is not different from Krishna, we should never forget that fact. As per the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says that if you are hearing means we are in touch with Krishna. And then and later we picked up a verse from the deliverance of Nalakuvera and Manigriva, and we took a beautiful prayer. And in that prayer, what they were offering, and we can also offer that prayer every day. Every day they were offering that, Krishna, let our words describe your glories of yours and your devotees. Let our ears hear your katha, pastimes. Let our hands, legs, and other senses do activities pleasing to you, O Krishna. Let our head bow down to everything in this world, because you are there in every particle. O Krishna, let our eyes see your devotees, because they are non different from you. Let our eyes see your devotees. So how should we behave with the devotees? So, and then from there, then we saw the position of Mother Yashoda. And how Shukadeva Goswami describes the position of Mother Yashoda is greater than Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Mother Lakshmi. Although he is the controller of everyone, he comes under the control of his devotees' love. Brutya Vashyata. He becomes subservient to his own devotees because of their love towards him. And then we also saw how these two devotees, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, how they were offering prayers. And it is because of the mercy of the devotees everything is happening. It is only by the mercy of, from the pastime of Nalakuvera and Manigriva, we can clearly see that we were also just doing other things, silly things, before we came to Krishna consciousness. Some or other, Prabhupada's mercy, we came to Krishna. Krishna Katha means you are seeing Krishna. If we are in ISKCON in a proper mood, means Krishna is there in front of us. So how should we behave? And because of Prabhupada, we came to Krishna and Krishna consciousness. We should always be a good servant of Prabhupada. And also Kunti Maharani says a wonderful prayer with regards to service, and I will mention that. I will end my class there. Krishna Kunti Maharani says a wonderful prayer. Let me recite. Shrunvanti ghayanti grunantya bhikshnashaha smaranti nandanti tavehitam janaha tayeva pashyantya chirena tavakam bhava pravavo paramam padambucham. She gives a formula. Wonderful formula to stop the flow of repeated birth and death. This repeated birth and death, material existence is like a flow, continuously flowing. Nobody is able to stop this flow. It's like a cycle. Nobody is able to stop it. But she gives a formula to break this cycle. A simple formula. Shrunvanti, those who hear your Krishna Katha. Gayanti, they repeat glories. They chant your name. They chant. They sing kirtan. They talk about you. Those who hear, those who talk about your glories, and those who remember constantly of them, and also those who take pleasure when others do the same thing. When I give class, I enjoy, but when someone give class, I don't enjoy. Kunti Maharani says that should not be the attitude. Our attitude should be that we should also enjoy when others are doing the services. Any service, when others are doing, we should be happy as well. If one does that, one will see your lotus feet, Krishna. One will be able to break the cycle of this material existence. So Hare Krishna. So I've taken a little extra time. My apologies for that. Thank you very much. And there is a question or comment by Govinda Prabhu. Let's see what he has to say.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Very well.
Wonderful lecture. Right, my question is regarding keeping a good level of consciousness. It seems that we started day with a nice Krishna consciousness sort of level, and then as the goes by, we go to work, we interact with other people, non-devotees, and level of consciousness just goes down, 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 and down till the next morning. What's your advice in keeping a good level of good consciousness? Thank you, Prabhu.
So keeping level of good consciousness, what can I say? Same Prabhupada formula. Yes, that is the nature of this world. But I think if you are strong, like say, for example, you take, this morning I was hearing Sumedha was mentioning about Vibhishan. Vibhishan practically lived among the demons. Prahlad, he was also talking that Prahlad also lived among the demons. The reason they became so strong because they were good at knowledge, the bhakti, like they had strong faith because they got sound knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So that's why because they have the sound knowledge of Krishna consciousness, they were not influenced by the demons. They could influence to a certain extent. If in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, he converted demons into devotees. And Prabhupada also, so many people are not so devotees before, and he had that. So only say that, just repeat the process. I would say that it happens to me also, everyone, and that we just take more dose of Krishna Katha. The more we take the dose of Krishna Katha, the consciousness gets better. That is my, understanding. There is no secret weapon, easy weapon. Anything you wanted to say? Yeah, anybody wants to say anything on this matter? How we can keep our consciousness better? Of course, Prabhupada said that the morning, if we prepare our consciousness, and hopefully it will carry on for the rest of the day, isn't it? Braj Kumar Prabhu, usually the morning, if we get up and chant and hear and do devotional service in the morning, hopefully throughout the day, it will, let us carry on, hopefully.
Oh yeah, but the problem is that Maya is very, very strong. So it's we have to, as I said, we're taking ammunition and then it's just we're using it, but Maya is not diminishing in its strength. So
true, Maya is, but one thing, you're absolutely right. Maya is under control of Krishna. If we pray to Krishna, that Krishna, please, and we have to pray to Prabhupada as well, like Krishna's devotees, please help us. So after all, she's the servant of Krishna, and if Krishna is pleased, then Maya will hopefully go away from us. But I think what we have to do is we have to try our level best. Yes. Okay, so my wife, all of you know that she's a GP, and she sees several patients every day. And what she was mentioning, that when patient comes to her with shoulder pain and back pain, she advises that you have to take a break. Say you sit in front of the desk for a long time. So when it is painful, go for a little walk, and then come back and do it. So in that way, so you indicate that we should take a break and read a little bit. So every couple of hours, open Bhagavatam, read a little bit. So that's what she says here. Okay, so I'll allow to move, Prabhu. So thank you very much for that comment and question. Anything else anybody wants to add?
There's a
There's one more
question.
question on the chat, Prabhu.
Okay, let me see, Prabhu. I'm not actually monitoring today. Yes, I need glasses now, but Sumadar Radhika Mataji, thank you very much, Mataji. And from James, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, many thanks for your class, wonderful, inspiring many. My question is, I work with non-devotees, but would like to introduce Krishna consciousness to them. How could I introduce them to Krishna consciousness in a gentle and welcoming manner? So the easiest answer my wife is giving to me, having your partner next to you is always very helpful. Whenever you are in struggle, whenever you are in difficulty, they always help you. So my wife was telling James Prabhu that cookies. So prasadam. Nobody says no to prasadam. The easiest way is giving some cookies. Make cookies and offer to Krishna and give them. That remembers me that Prabhupada used to have a jar of gulab jamuns. They used to call it ISKCON bullet in those days. So Prabhupada used to keep them at the door front, and devotees, whoever comes in, they used to take gulab jamuns. So yes, giving prasadam definitely one thing, and also with our behavior and the how we deal with them. I remember some time ago that somebody was telling, just because of this person I would like to become a devotee. Yes. So what's his name, man? Not Jaydev Prabhu. What's his name? Not Jaydev. Yeah. So this devotee, I just forgot now. Who is the devotee who made the first chariot?
Shamsundar Prabhu.
No, not
Jayanand Prabhu.
Jayanand Prabhu.
Yeah, Jayanand Prabhu. So Jayanand Prabhu, when he was making chariot, this Jayapatak Swami Maharaj came. And Jayapatak Maharaj, Jayanand Swami asked him to help. I think maybe, hold this nail. Jayanand Swami asked Jayapatak Swami to hold that nail. That time he was not a Swami. And so he held that nail, he helped, he assisted Jayanand Swami. And then Jayanand Prabhu, I beg your pardon, Jayanand Prabhu. So Jayanand Prabhu was appreciating this person. Yeah, that time Jayapatak Swami was teenager, and he appreciated, he praised, and so he loved him. He took care of that devotee. And Jayapatak Swami says that, because of him, I became a devotee. Like that. So it's our behavior. When we walk the talk, we can talk, but when we walk the talk, that will change the people. That will change the people's heart. That's what Prabhupada did. Several people there are so many differences among the devotees, but everybody respects Prabhupada. Everybody loves Prabhupada. Walking the talk. Yeah, so it's just our behavior, and see if you can give some books, be nice to them, and of course, pray for them, and seek guidance from seniors. I'm sure that will be able to help, but I'll appreciate that you have this wonderful desire to spread this Krishna consciousness, and I pray to Krishna and Prabhupada that they give you enough strength in your mission to bring other people to the lotus feet of Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, sorry, that went a little longer. So thank you very much. And now I think we're going to recite Damodarashtakam prayers. But first we will read the translations. Madhav Kumar Prabhu, who will be singing today?
You can volunteer, ask for anybody from the group to volunteer.
Mean singing or reading?
Reading.
Okay, reading. Okay. Okay, no problem. Just 1 second. I will just share the screen share closing. So maybe each devotee can read one translation. So I would suggest I will just pick in the order. Whoever is there in the order, I will just go in the Prabhu.
To the Supreme Lord, whose form is embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who are due to offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into the butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from the swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but had been caught from behind by her, and who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Next, Bhuneshwari Mataji. Mataji is not there. Bob Prabhu, are you able to read? Bob Prabhu? No. Yes, James Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yeah, seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his 2 lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, whose belly is not bound with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Thank you, Prabhu. Next, may I ask, I don't know who else. Katie Mataji, are you able to read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is freed from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times.
Mataji, maybe you can carry on, because if I interrupt every time, I think the message is not going through. So I request you please complete.
Okay, Prabhu. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalokavara, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in the same way please give to me your own prima bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe, I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord who displays unlimited pastimes.
Thank you very much, Katie Mataji. I appreciate that. Thank you. Shri Shri Radha Damodar Bhagwan ki jai.
Yeah. Are we audible, Prabhu?
Sorry? Yes, you are
Can
audible.
you-
Yes.
Shall we begin?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe.
Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe.
Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar
Prabhu, I think it's the volume is low again. Maybe you need to do some adjustments.
Now?
Now is also low, very low.
Okay, we'll try and stay close, but the volume is highest.
Namami Shwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Prajamanam
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Gokule Vrajamanam
Namami Shwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Prajamanam
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamanam
Yashoda Viyolokaladatvamanam
Madhav Kumar Prabhu, we can't hear you. Devotees are saying also. The voice is low. I'm sorry.
Any better?
No. It's not better.
Might have to change the machine.
Or should we ask anyone else?
Yeah, just give us 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Is that better?
Now. It's
Can
better
you-
now. Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay, bro. We'll start again quickly.
Yes, sorry. Okay, go on.
Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat
You are muted.
Darupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam
Yashoda Viyolokaladatvamanam Param Rishtamatyanta Sodupya Gopya
Yashoda Viyolu Kaladavamanam
Ramrishamatyanta Dhrutagopya
Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmamrajantam Karam Bhojayogmena Shatankanetram
Rudantam Muhurnetam Yugmamrajantam Karam Bhojayogmena Shatankanetram
Muhushashakam Patirekhankakanta Sitagaivam Damodaram Bhaktipadam
Muhushashakam Patirikagaganta Sitagivam Damodaram Bhaktipadam
Isidriksvalilabhi Ananda Kunde Sakosham Nimajantam Akhyapayantam
Vikshvalila Virananda Kunde Sagosham Nimayantam Akhyapayantam
Tadiyeshitaneshu Bhaktajitatvam Puna Prematatam Sartaviti Vande
Tadiyeshitaneshu Bhaktagitatvām Nāmimatastam Sattavritti Vande
Varam Deva Moksham Namoksha Swadim Va Nachanyam Praneham Varishada Priha
Nam Deva Moksham Nam Moksham Vadimma Nachanyam Praneham Vare Sarabhiha
Idam Teva Purnata Gopala Bala Sada Me Manasya Virashtam Kimanye
Idam Deva Purnata Gopala Balam Sadam Manasya Virashtam Kimanye
Idam Te Mukhambojam Yanta Nile Ritam Kuntale Sikta Rakta Chakukya
Idam Mukhambojam Matyanta Nile Kuntale Smigdha Rakta Chakukya
Muhushtumbitam Bimba Rakta Dharam Me Manasya Virashta Malam Lakshalate
Muhushumpitam Rimbam Rakshadaram Me Manasyavirashtam Malam Lakshadave
Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jala Vivakya
Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jala Vimagam
Kripa Drishti Vishati Dinam Bhajano Veha Nisha Mama Shami Vyakshi Dishya
Kripadrishti Vrishati Dinam Bhatano Vihani Shamama Kamiliyati Vrishya
Veratmaja Bada Kutevye Vaja Vaya Mudita Bhakti Vaja Petauja
Veratmaja Badham Yasvevayadva Vaya Mochita Bhakti Vaja Kritaucha
Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakami Prayacha Namokshe Graho Me Sida Mudareya
Tha Prema Bhaktim Swadham Me Prayacha Namo Sigaho Me Sridamodareha
Namaste Sudamne Surati Pidamne Vadiyogarayata Vishwasya Damne
Namaste Sudamne Sudadipidamne Sadivarayata Vishwakadamne
Namo Radhikaye Twadiyai Priyaye Namo Nandalilaye Devyaye Dubhyam
Namo Radhikaya Tadiyai Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Sudam Namo Radhikaya Tadiyai Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Sudam
Namo Radhikaya Twadiyai Priyaye Namo Nandalilaya Devyaye Tubhyam
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Hare.
Jaya Radha
Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Hare.
Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe.
Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Hare.
Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe.
Jai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Sankirtanya ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Damodar ji ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mother Kumar Prabhu and family, for that Kirtan, and also for the wonderful DT Darshan. Appreciate that. So thank you, Radha Vinod Prabhu, again for a beautiful darshan. We can see that they've got a new outfits. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda. Bolo Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan ki jai. Jagannath Baldev Subramai ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. Gaur Nitai ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Wonderful. Thank you so much for all the devotees for kindly being their association. Virtually, that's the best we could do in these days. And if anybody wants to sing Damodarashtakam prayers on any Friday or Sunday, please contact Madhav Kumar Prabhu. He had posted a message in the Kirtan group. If you're willing, please just let him know that he will, put you on the rota. So yeah, this Friday, the class will be on the fourth topic of the 5 main topics that would be on karma. And on Sunday, it is the appearance of Radha Kunda. So the class will be dedicated to describe the pastimes of appearance of Radha Kunda. So Hare Krishna, and I wish you all a very happy Kartik. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.